Welcome back to the DMG's That Are Wrong YouTube channel. My name is Mike, and I'm joined today by my boy Gage Jones. How's it going?
It's going good. I'm excited. Love
Oh, yeah.
making videos. This is the best thing on the planet.
That's what we live for. But we got top 10 NFL free agents left / their landing spots, what we think is going to happen. And before we jump into that, make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We see that 92% of you guys that watch these videos are not subscribed, so hit that subscribe button, be a part of the movement, be a part of everything that's going on around here, because, things are going to start to heat up here soon with the draft in the near future, like a week and a half or something like that. So
Really? Wow, it is already that time.
yeah, it's that time. So things are about to heat up around here, so stay tuned for those. And you can do that by hitting that subscribe button and helping us out. We really appreciate it if you will. And for the ones that have, we appreciate you as well. So jumping into the video here, starting off with the first guy. This is not like a top 10 on who we also think is left. This is just a list that we have. No,
That's right.
yeah, no specific order on like how good the player is in a sense. So number one here. Okay,
We
hold
got
up. There you go.
Jadeveon Clowney. Overall, just talent. I mean, he's probably the best talent left on the market. Thinking on the top of my head,
He's up there. He's up there for sure.
I'd say that. Which is surprising because he's got like no play.
Yeah.
Granted, he does do this every year. Every time he's a free agent, he waits until well after training camp because he doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to show up. So he will wait and sign after, as long as it means he does not have to go to OTAs. The reports are seeming that he's expected to sign back with the Browns. I don't think that's like a shocker. I don't think he ever was gonna go anywhere else. I think he was going to test the market, see if he can use that to leverage more, since he's had probably his best every year besides his 2 years in Houston that were really good, in Cleveland, and I just think he just doesn't want to go to OTAs, which I find very interesting. It's just funny that he's like very stubborn. I will not do this, and he hasn't. So, power to him.
Yep.
I think he's the number one priority for my team, the Browns. I think that's who they need to go and sign, period.
Mm-hmm.
If you go look at our defensive line right now, it's Myles Garrett and then the guys at Walmart that the Patriots signed. So,
But we make it play good.
exactly. The Browns can't.
Fair enough.
They rely on Myles Garrett.
Yep. But yeah, they need to re-sign Jadeveon Clowney for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's where we think he's going to probably end up, like Gage said. Just doesn't want to do all the extracurriculars and just wants to show up, play football, get paid.
Can't be mad at it.
Can't be mad. Good at it. So, moving on to number 2 here is TYRANN Mathieu, a.k.a. Honey Badger.
Honey Badger don't care.
Honey Badger don't care. He's got a few teams interested in him, but obviously we have the Saints here as his most likely one just because that's kind of where the most news has been coming out of, in a sense. That's where a lot of sports networks, whatever you want to call it, have him kind of going there. But
Going home.
yep, going home. But it's just it's funny some of the things that he's also come out and said about the Chiefs with the deal that they weren't able to offer him and whatnot, and then them going and signing Justin Reed, and then him saying that he would have taken Justin Reed's contract if they would have offered it to him or something like that. But at the end of the day, Justin Reed's 25, Tyrann Mathieu's 30. So the Chiefs did a business deal, and I don't know if Tyrann Mathieu was happy with the business deal in a sense. Feels a little disrespected, but Tyrann Mathieu, I think he's still got a few years left in the tank, of course.
Yeah.
He's great. He's a good player. Hasn't been up to that same standard that he kind of set when he kind of first moved on over to the Chiefs in their Super Bowl runs that they were making. But I think the Saints is a pretty good spot for him.
And we have him going to the Saints in the aspect that he's not going for money. He's going to go to the place that he just wants to play. So we have him taking less money than what he wants, because he definitely wants a lot more. Some potential places to look if he goes for money that have been talking with him and looking at. The Pittsburgh Steelers, I guess both sides have expressed some interest there. Don't do it, please. The Philadelphia Eagles, which I think is fit wise probably like the best spot for him. I personally think like that would be the best outcome for him to go to is the Eagles. And then also the Detroit Lions, which I think it makes the most sense because he'll bring stability and veteran leadership that team desperately needs in the back. He would probably love to play under Dan Campbell. I mean, those guys would get along really well, and the Lions would be able to pay him the money that he wants. But you've got, I shouldn't say no chance to win, but no chance to win anything. So, does he want to rebuild? Does he want to be a part of that?
Probably not at 30.
Exactly. But moving on to the next one. This is funny. The Tampa Bay Gronkoneers. Does Gronk retire or does Gronk come back and sign for a team in the NFL, which will only be the Bucks? So this is will he retire or will he not? Flip a coin.
He's not retiring.
I don't think so either.
He's going to run it back with old Tampa Bay there. Tampa Brady. Whatever you want to call him. The GOAT.
So, little off topic. Is Gronk the GOAT tight end? It's like him, Tony Gonzalez.
Travis Kelce's up there. I know that people talk about
I think a couple years of Travis Kelce would be up there, yeah.
The GOAT tight end.
Ozzie Newsome, maybe? Ozzie Newsome, Tony Gonzalez, and Rob Gronkowski. I think it's really only between Gronk and Tony Gonzalez. But that's besides the point.
I'd say Gronk.
That's kind of what I'm feeling. But
I'd say
is that
Gronk.
just because it's our generation? Because, I asked my dad and a couple friends of mine that are, an older generation, and they all said Tony Gonzalez. So I wonder if it's because we saw Gronk play and we didn't really get to see Gonzalez play.
I would only say Gronk just because even with the whole injury with his arm and being out all those years, he still put up numbers to be in the conversation. And when he was out there and when he was playing, there was like a good solid 2 to 3 years this dude couldn't be tackled. He couldn't be tackled. Tom would throw him the ball and he's over the field or over the middle of the field and you weren't tackling him and you weren't going to catch him.
Yeah, the Denver Broncos literally created a system that pretty much made him retire because that is the only way people could do it is literally helmet to the kneecap.
Oh, dude, yeah. Teams were
able to tackle, and they were doing it all the time after that.
Teams were murdering Gronkowski on the field, dude.
Yeah, I remember watching. I think it was like a Thursday night game. Peyton Manning coming back, and Peyton Manning versus Tom Brady. Broncos versus Patriots, and Gronk was having a game, and then in the third quarter, the Broncos took over and started dominating because it was 5 straight times that Gronk touched the ball. He got his knees boom, head right to the shoulder, right to the knee every time. It was pretty gross, and that's when I started paying attention to it. But anyways, off topic, it's just a question. What do you guys think? Put it in the comments.
Yep.
Is Gronk the GOAT tight end?
But yeah, he's going back to the Buccaneers. No doubt about it.
Yep. Mikey?
Yeah. Odell Beckham. Yeah. Odell. Yeah. No, but yeah, Odell Beckham Jr. here, obviously. He's 29. Still got a little youth left in him. Not in the knees though, but everywhere else he's got some youth. Obviously he had that run there with the Rams, went down sadly in the Super Bowl on non-contact injury, which you hate to see that. I think a lot of people are growing to like Odell again, and the whole,
especially with the exact same knee.
Yeah, same knee. So yep, this is twice now on the same knee. But when ACLs aren't what they used to be, I think his foot got caught in the turf, and I just think it got caught and he couldn't move.
I never. I wouldn't say I started to like him again. That,
No, I
that's
don't
for
know.
sure.
I don't mind
Um,
Odell. I've never hated him nor liked him. Or it like he's just Odell to me.
he was like my favorite wide receiver until he came to Cleveland.
Yeah,
Um, no, so obviously you can see it up there. We think he's going to go to the Patriots. He's shown and expressed interest in playing for Bill Belichick in years time or years previous. Um, I think the Rams, the Packers. I think that's it. I think those are the only two others that you would think.
yeah.
Um, he's not going to sign in this offseason.
No, he's
He's
not even.
rehabbing. It'll be like when he was traded from the cut from the Browns and went to
Yeah,
the Rams. It would be
it'll be mid-season deal.
yeah, week 11, week 12 signing.
Yeah.
He won't even be healthy towards until that end of the year
Hmm.
anyways. So take your time, heal up, see what injuries happen, see where you can go make the most money.
Yeah.
So this one's a little bit harder to project.
Yeah. But the Patriots are the favorites to sign him right now on any like sports betting app or whatever you want to call it. We're the favorites. Um,
Sportsbook.
yeah, I don't know. I don't really know if we have the money to sign him. If he had to be willing to take like a league minimum from us for his tenure, for how long he's been in the league. So that's basically all we could offer him. It depends on just if he wants to play with Bill Belichick, Mac Jones, Devontae Parker, and Kendrick Bourne. Kind of build up that core more. So I wouldn't be mad if Odell did sign. It's just he's not what Odell used to be, as we all know, but he can still make an impact in the game. He can catch those red zone touchdowns, and the Patriots kind of struggle in that sense in catching red zone touchdowns. I mean, Hunter Henry and Kendrick Bourne are like our two main guys, and after that, we really don't have anyone. We're hoping to kind of run it in and punch it in after that. So getting a red zone threat like that in Odell that he can throw in the lineup when he can catch those quick outs on the and get that separation from those DBs. And I think just having a core of Devontae Parker, Odell, and Kendrick Bourne, I think that will help Mac Jones, and then Odell can make Mac Jones look even better than the credit people want to give him.
Dalton 2.0.
Yeah. Okay.
So this one's J.C. Tretter. He's a center for the Cleveland Browns. Was the Cleveland Browns? He was cut this year. Um, he is a top 5, top 7 center in the NFL. The Browns cut him because he's getting old. He's cost a lot of money, and what people may not know because it's a center and he's not going to be in the media a ton.
Yeah.
He hasn't practiced in 2 years. That's not an exaggeration or hyperbole. The reason why the Browns were willing to cut him is because we have Nick Harris, who we drafted a couple years ago, who has been taking the first team reps for the last 2 years. Um, JC Tretter has like no cartilage in his knees whatsoever. He's been injured the entire time, and every week he just has to rehab his body to so he can go back and play on Sunday. That's basically what he does. Is he just rehabs so he can feel better, so he's actually able to enter the field. He's the NFL Players Association president currently, so I don't know if this means he can't retire, but I don't see him signing anywhere. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how you can go from being cut to then having to go to a team, and you're probably not going to have that same luxury of being able to just not practice whenever.
Especially going to a
With
new
him,
team like that, dude. Like if you go in
exactly.
and you can't practice, but you're gonna have to try and learn their offense and learn the guys around you and learn how the quarterback runs the offense and stuff
Hmm.
like that, where he lines up for those shotgun snaps and everything. Like
Yeah,
just
you need those reps with
yeah,
the quarterback.
building
So,
the chemistry with everyone on that offensive line and the quarterback. I mean, you can't do that if you don't practice.
so I would say he doesn't sign anywhere. I don't be surprised if he retires. And then also if you see like a team that's pushing for a Super Bowl or a team that has that chance and they lose somebody gets hurt, then you can maybe see him come out and sign for a bit for the last year. So But moving on to the next guy. We got Akeem Hicks, defensive tackle from the Chicago Bears. Duh, Bears.
The Bears.
Duh, Bears. Him and Eddie Goldman were both cut from the Bears this year. So they're going full new defensive line. That's Eddie Goldman, Akeem Hicks, and Khalil Mack gone. That's 3 of their 4 starters.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Goldman has like a freak potential, but he apparently after the COVID year, he didn't want to. He didn't want to play. He sat the year out or something because he was scared of COVID, and then refused to get the vaccine, and then came in out of shape, and then played really, really heavy and lazy. So that's why Goldman's gone, and then Akeem Hicks is just because he was earning a lot of money, and I mean the Bears are just restarting. But Akeem Hicks isn't what he used to be. Obviously, he's 32, but he's still a beastly defensive tackle. You don't need him to dominate all game, every game, especially if he goes to a team like the Browns, like we think he's going to. I guess the Browns have been heavily interested in him, as have more than a few teams. But he's a game-changing defensive tackle, which is not a common thing in the NFL. If you can have a guy on the inside dominate a game for you, it's a good recipe for success. So, that's about it for him for me though.
Okay, that's about all I got too.
Okay.
No, yeah, he's a stud. We all know who Akeem Hicks is. If you haven't, you've been living under a rock. So
I can tell you, Aaron Rodgers knows who he is.
oh yeah.
I think he might have sacked Aaron Rodgers the most.
Yeah, he's a beast.
I'm gonna look that stat up.
Well, while you're doing that, I'll move on to the next one and talk about him a little bit here, which is Melvin Gordon. Previous team, obviously, the Denver Broncos, as you can tell by the picture there. Not re-signed. They're rolling with Javonte Williams. Is that his name, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Javonte. He was a rookie last year, wasn't he? Javonte Williams.
Yes, sir.
So they've come out and said that they're rolling with him basically in their new offense with Russell Wilson and everyone else that they're signing around there. So kind of leaves Melvin Gordon out of the picture a little bit. He still wouldn't be bad in depth, but I think he wants a little too much money, and he still has something to offer though. Don't count him out. And teams like, obviously, as you can see there, the Ravens, they need running backs. They can use running backs.
Anybody that can stay healthy, they'll take.
Yeah, and Melvin Gordon can do that. Sometimes. And the Texans, they just need bodies. Their running back one right now is Rex Burkhead.
It just seems like it's a Texans move, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
It really does. Some guy that's like, slowly on the decline, that has had a name before, that they'll go and overpay.
Oh yeah.
Like it just seems like that's what's going to end up happening.
Mm-hmm.
I know the Denver Broncos would like to have him back, but when you trade for Russell Wilson in that contract, the luxury of spending, the amount of money that you spend on running backs has to drop.
Yep.
So.
And you got to roll with the guy that's going to be on a rookie deal for the next 3 to 4 years.
Who is also better than Melvin Gordon.
So.
Yeah. Watch him blow up. Fantasy, draft him.
Yeah.
Draft him with one of your first 3 picks. You won't be upset.
Oh, yeah. But with all that, moving on to the next guy in Dante Hightower, which he's just still on the market. 32 years old. Played with the Patriots last season, obviously. Patriots legend. But we haven't re-signed him. I don't really think he has any interest from any other teams. I know he came out and said that he does want to play next year, though, whether it's with the Patriots or not.
I think the only other team that's been slowly in reports were the Steelers. Because of Brian Flores.
Yeah.
That's the only reason, though.
So, Dante Hightower, like I said, I'd like to have him back as well, but we're a little thin on the salary cap this year. Can't really pay anyone else, honestly, especially with a guy of his tenure as well. So, even if we did sign Odell, we definitely can't sign Dante Hightower. And I know Dante Hightower isn't what he used to be, but he still has the intelligence. He's a leader. He can still make plays. He played pretty much all last year. And I'd like to have him back. It's just we need to get younger at that position as well at the same time and get guys that are more athletic, because that is one of the parts of the field on defense that we lose the most, is that middle of the field, because our guys aren't young enough / quick enough to make those plays from going sideline to sideline. So
Yeah, he's going to be one of those guys that isn't signed for a while.
yep.
Will likely be a week or a couple after weeks after the NFL draft, and he'll most likely end up having to go back if he wants to play on a vet mid. And then lastly, which we just left in here.
No.
Oh no, next. Okay. We have Justin Houston right here. You could also put Jerry Hughes. We didn't put him in here. For some reason, that name just slipped by, and then we were doing it and prepping for the video, and we're like, wait a minute, Jerry Hughes. Why isn't he in here? So Jerry Hughes, and Justin Houston are about the same. 2 edge rushers on the wrong side of 30.
Yeah.
Don't have those physical traits that they used to, but are dominant edge rushers in their time, and have that veteran ability to do the same. We just do like those 3 teams up. Like that's the kind of team that these guys are going to go to. Hughes and Houston are going to go to one of the teams that want to contend for a Super Bowl. Somebody that feels like they have that chance. They're going to put that money into an edge rusher to have that little extra firepower and potential chance.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking about it, I think Buccaneers are a sleeper there
Yeah.
for him. I wouldn't be surprised. But we don't have a specific team for where he's going to go.
Yeah.
He's going to be one of the I'm going to sign for a team that's going to win a ring.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever he thinks has got that chance I think is where he's going to go. And then we'll move on to this last one. We left this guy in here because we had him in originally, and then he was signed in the process of coming up with this list and whatnot. And Mikey called it from the beginning, before there were reports coming out that he was in Indianapolis meeting with them. So got to give him his credit where it's due. Go ahead, Mikey.
I thought you were better than this, Stefan. I thought we were bros.
He's already won his ring. You know, he just go to his retirement home and make all the money he can in Indianapolis. You know.
I thought we were brothers, man. No, but yeah, Stephon Gilmore, obviously Patriots legend as well.
Such a legend that they didn't pay him.
I know, we never do. Like J.C. Jackson, Patriots legend.
Makes him a legend if you don't pay him.
Get the hell out of here. But yeah, Stephon Gilmore, obviously free agent from the Panthers, signed with the Colts. I projected the Colts as well. And it sucks to see him play there just because the Colts, for some reason, have some rivalry with us that we had no idea about. But I guess it's a thing. Hang a banner for that one. You guys beat us for the first time in 20 years. Good job. But, yeah, on a serious note, just shooting shots at Dylan there because he'll watch this.
Be a little salty.
But on a serious note, this is a great signing for the Colts. He was a Pro Bowler last year. He's still doing his thing.
Defensive Player of the Year. I mean,
yeah. He's still young beyond his years. 31. I mean, he don't play like he's 31. He's still out there. He's still grinding on every play. This is a great signing for the Colts. I absolutely hate it. But he got paid. He gets what he deserves. It was like a 2-year, I think like $35 million or something like that.
I think that's up to. I think he's guaranteed 21 though.
Okay, but that's still good. Good payday for him.
Check that out really quick for us.
Colts needed another good corner, and they get another good corner here in Stephon Gilmore. So good for him. I hope he doesn't do too well. Or I hope he does well, just doesn't play well against the Patriots this year. Like he did.
So now, Up to 23, 14 guaranteed.
Oh, okay. So not as big as what I first read, but that's still getting paid, still playing like he deserves to be. I think he kind of fell off a little bit after the Patriots binned him off for some reason, but yeah, this is a great signing for him. Great signing for the Colts. Good deal all around. Get that led or elite guy at corner, and just make your defense even stronger. So good for the Colts. Good for him.
But yeah, that's it. That's our. Those are the 10 free agents we went over this time. We'll have another video coming out with, a handful of other receivers or free agents and where we think that they're going to end up going. It'll be more clear once the draft happens, kind of, in this limbo period where players aren't going to be signed, trades aren't going to be made, and, projections are going to be difficult until the draft happens.
Mm-hmm.
So, but thank you guys for watching. If you made it to the end of this video, we appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button, punch the subscribe button, and we'll see you guys next time for some more NFL content.
Peace out.